Alright then, party people, today's video is about expelling darkness. Let's go back into the old paradigm. I want to bring a parallel experience of how the old paradigm thought in their flow they meant good. It was far from good. Try to get away with what's not original and control that, thinking they're doing something good when they're actually working for the opposite side. That has to do with being not conscious. So expelling darkness, I'll explain to you how that works, how we have patterns in our life, how we bring that in, how we are directors. We're not the seekers. You're not a seeker, you direct. So let's go back to Thomas Alva Edison and Nikola Tesla, and how the entire world was fooled into believing that Thomas Edison, who was a generic engineer who copied concepts from geniuses and tried to run with it. You know, there are blueprints from the original creators of models. We know that. So let's say, and as an example, you take the light bulb from Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla had the idea with the vacuum and a different thread that would have the light bulb glowing for a lifetime. But you take that from Nikola Tesla light bulb, you alter its form, you take a different material, you change the measurements, you make everything off, you turn the light bulb into something, yeah, the world looks at it and says, yeah, in a minute, yeah, it brings some light, but the light bulb will only last that long. Fact is, you stole the invention, and however people claim how that works is if you change something that if somebody has already originated, you have no permission to take that. You take it out of, you take it, the entire conceptual design that has like this size, certain measurements in the size, and you do this, you compress it, and it's not even working properly. So take another aspect of somebody else, you add to it, and you spend some money because you're industrial, but you're claiming you want to help the world to see the light, but you want to make banking. Nikola Tesla was more like, there's some exchange for the labor, but I want the people to access that, not to be charged all their lives for it. So what I see now is, after Nikola Tesla died a broke man, which is our past, genius, they gave him the title that he's the actual inventor of a lot of electrical systems, where falsely other people tried to basically patent that, and it was actually revoked, and the original patents went back to Nikola Tesla. And that we have over 5,000 patents under that dude that were not even published, because you know why. I don't have to explain that. Why certain things are not on the market, why certain inventions are not seen. It's all about greed and profit, and somebody could copy. The age of belief is that the science that's out there that makes you believe. So you're assuming, but you do not know. You're not with the originators. But energetically, by law, by universal law and divine law, it's like this right now. If you steal something that is not yours without an agreement to move anywhere, this is beyond the law that is written by those that be. That'll fade anyway. You have to carry that karma that it is not yours to begin with, that you never owned it, you never created it, you altered something that already existed. And we're not here to reinvent the wheel, but there are certain things that have what we call originality. And it is evident who brings that. Whatever you create, you have before any patent thing. If it works, put it on YouTube, show the people that it works. That, first of all, is prior use. So if your videos are 4 or 5 years old with an idea and a conceptual design of what you bring, and somebody after you comes with that and the same thing just altered, everybody visually knows in history recorded when that took place. So now to the topic, expelling darkness. I was put in a situation where I had to meet energies of ancient priests that had been on the priesthood of Atlantis, that were responsible for the fall of Atlantis because they didn't listen, and they tried to actually weaponize the natural energies that were here. Those that resonate know where I'm coming from. Those that don't understand ancient histories and past lives, this is not for you. So, what upstairs does is, according to your spiritual maturity and how much you remember of your past lives, doesn't matter. You will be put in the same situation with the same souls, and the High Council looks at you. What will your choice be? That you want to own everything, discredit people, and you want to bank and it's all about the money? Will you make the same decision energetically that you did make in the past, as the Dark Council that was void of knowledge, that said we want to go there and create the crystals and weaponize them and blow everything up and Atlantis goes under? Or this time, or will you kill each other? You know, you in war, you're whatever, Spanish conquistador, and let's say I'm a Maya descendant Inca, and we're here in the same energy escrow. Will you offend me the same way you offended me when you invaded my space with that energetics, with that spirit? Or will you make a choice that we walk away from a timeline that no longer binds us? We release each other, nobody talks about nobody, and leave it at peace? Or those who came with injustice rightfully are destroying themselves, because it has no future to steal, because that means you're operating from lack. You know, this is mine, I own this is my house, these are my bags, this is mine, and you do all this, and you point all your fingers you have, you and you and you and you, and you're all wrong. When you see that happening to you, then something is wrong with the picture. And some of us have that, what I just heard on the radio with a lady, I don't know, Chris, you remember that name with the invaders? What was her name? You don't remember? Okay. Anyway, a lady channel.
Oh,
Yeah.
Carolyn Mace on Archetypes, the Invader archetype.
Yes, you can check that out in the archives, where she says that you attract that into your life. Basically, you bring people to your life that you didn't look for. You never looked for them. They never hung out with you. You bring them, you invite them into your house because you're thinking that you're helping, and you're genuinely trying to help. That has to do with the helper syndrome or helper complex, that you think that you're Robin Hood and you're the helper, you're the hero. It's a program. You can be helper, you can be villain, you can be hero, you can be...
All the other 200 archetypes.
Yeah, there are like many archetypes.
Yeah, it's not just three.
It's not just three archetypes.
Heroes and villains. It's actually like hundreds of archetypes.
Yeah,
but.
so the list is like to base it on just three would be just limiting it. So let's say there are thousands, as there are infinite possibilities of things to be. So you bring that into your home, and they respect you, and we call it passive aggressive behavior. Move into your space. Fill the space that's your space until you don't even realize that you get moved into a corner. But you're actually trying to help and trying to hook it up. Invest in a good relationship, trying to hook everything up, and people misuse. They lie, they steal, they claim they don't because they're so righteous. They think they're giving you an opportunity that you can make it in life. They're so in denial that they can't see that something's wrong with the picture. When something explodes or makes a decision to pass and move into another direction, there's a reason for it. And if they claim that they have nothing to do with it, then that you have to understand that they have everything to do with it. And then you have to understand you are the director. You can say, you came to my house, I invited you, you do this and treat me this way, you hurt me. Of course, when I even say, and I learned that from my mother in discussions, if somebody gets emotional, let the person be emotional. Let them scream it all out, that it is over with, and then you know who you're dealing with. And if you have done that to a person or to a being, let them react. Don't control that, because I've met people that approached me and said, yeah, you have to do this, or I'm ending this conversation. That means you do not have the capacity to end a communication that needs to take place. So it's going to explode into your face. So you learn, and you will be lectured by what you have caused, because you are the cause. Yes, it takes two to tango. We know that. But here's the power that you have. If that moves in on you and approaches you in a way that's not appropriate, you are being, check Esther Hicks, harassed into expansion. It's harassing you. It's making it uncomfortable for you. And then you speak your piece, you say what you have to say, you move your move, you get out the way, and you know what? You let bury the hatchet. Nobody talks about nobody. We all know who is who. And one party goes successful, the other one doesn't go successful. And that is by nature already picked. If your intent is impure, you can't prosper, because your impurity is not here to prosper. That's parasitic and it doesn't work. And people have to learn, if somebody knows a way and has a system and they know how it works, and it doesn't go by if you're a millionaire, it's about, are you a skillionaire? Do you have the tools and the capacity to fix the things and make it work and make people happy? And can you create that? It's easy to upset people. Very easy to upset people with BS. But can you make somebody genuinely happy and say happy things and understand where people come from? And then we all get along. I learned one thing here, and my battery is running low, so hopefully I can bring that in there. It's like we had all these kids in line, and they all got their plates. There was enough food for everybody. Two kids came along, a boy and a girl, picked the plates, smuggled themselves in front of the line, wanted to grab the most food, and upset the other kids in line. So what we do with expelling darkness, we are like, okay, this is not likable. We don't like that. So we take control and say, you put your plates down, you put the food back, you get in line like all the other kids, and everybody has food, and everybody's happy. And still there were kids that got offline and say, here, you can have my plate. And still I saw misuse when I grew up. And this is we need to learn not to do, so everybody has. And we can give gifts to each other that will make everybody rich. Everybody on earth has the same same chance to change for making a good decision, leaving a situation where everybody is happy, not because you want to win, not because it's about your ego and you think with your tactics you control or you run the world, because nobody runs the world but God, and God is the almighty source. And you have an opportunity to be here and to be gifted in certain places and make that sacred. Be wise with the words that you choose. Be wise with what you do and throw at people, because we're here to emit peace and propagate peace. But if we have in our digital communities people that want to destroy that, it is our right to say, like the healthy cell, we're pushing the cancerous cell out because we want to heal. And either the cancerous cell can heal and later on join with everybody else, or, sorry for the plane, you probably have to edit this, or I'll see you on the flip side when you come to grips with the decisions that you have made. So that is, it sounds a little bit forceful, but is people that are living with, you're living with your moms, you're living with your dads, or you're at home, or you have a tight relationship that is you're over with and you can't get out of it. It's time now to get up and say no more. If I don't like anything or I don't like something, you have the freedom to say no more. This is where I draw the line, no further. This is my escrow. This is how I create. This is my path of ascension. That's how you get your pieces back. That's how you get your power back. because nobody should be condescending to you, talking down to you, or disrespecting you. Everybody needs to be heard. And if there's evidence, you can bring that forth. If people need to see that, it's going to hurt them anyway. Whatever is done is being done. Every tracks you leave in the sand, leave something. So whatever decision you make, you make. And even if something that you've taken and somebody else gives that back for you because they want to fix your life, that doesn't make that better. You don't do it. You make a choice by saying, in truth, this is what I do, this is what I create, this is me, and this is transparency. And if you can propagate that with everything you can find about a being, online or offline, you're good to go. So this was just a process of how to expel darkness, to make it known that you will tell the world how you feel if somebody mistreats you. And if it needs to be propagated because the other side wants to push to a certain limit, you all have networks and forums and social networks and connections. We can say, like in a tribe, the thief will step forward, there will be a name, everybody will look at the thief, and then the thief will display and explain his action. And if he can bring that in with the clan and make that one, he'll be integrated. If he continues his action and he doesn't understand that it doesn't help the whole to be in one, then the community will be like, you are out. Because this is not how ascension works. We do not smuggle our contraband to the other side and bring that into heaven. We keep it clean, and this is the end of this communication. It had to be said. We are all clean. We are clear, and I'm switching that to my partner in rhyme, Crystal Raiza.
Hi, so I just want to share a quick little message about just some personal experience and learning that has happened, and that's really about this spirit called denial. And in the first stage of healing, healing can only begin once people have crossed over past the denial aspect. And so, you know, a lot of us are very upset with ourselves because we have allowed other people to kind of run all over us as empaths or sensitive beings, and we've been forced to assert our own boundaries. And so we like to talk about our experience and share because it's a healing experience to talk. You're not bottling it up inside on how angry you are, you know, when someone has mistreated you. So it's not really to lash out. It's not about hurting the other person. It's about talking about what do I feel when this happens, and how can I heal my emotional body. So basically, you can pretend to be a light worker, or you can do the actual light work. And on the path to the Atom Kadmon, you go through the Overself, you go through the Christed Overself, then the Elohistic Overself, until you reach the Atom Kadmon. And on that journey, there are many beings, and those are typically the first ones you will meet. Those are the ones who are cloaked in light. They are cloaked. And they know all the gimmicks. They have all of their repertoire is completely memorized. You know, I've heard this. You create your experience, and I'm in my heart chakra right now, and oh, the world is just an upsetting place. You have to deal with it, and you know, like, what do you want? You want a gold star? You're so great. You want a gold star? And these are the realities of other people and the projections of other people that they experience. So it's difficult when you are trying to discover truth and who you are, and you see those people as your reflection. So it's very upsetting for you to see that reflection, and to discuss it is to heal it, because you're no longer in denial of what has happened. You have to come to terms with the crime that's been committed. So, you know, you wouldn't tell somebody, if somebody murdered your child, you're not going to say, well, you attracted that. However, there are wonderful stories about how Deborah King writes about how the Amish forgave their children's murderer in one case, and these are processes that take time. So human beings are able to shift very quickly. However, if you have an open wound, you're going to feel and experience that open wound, and you may have come to Earth to experience that wound and to discuss it. and say this is no longer necessary on this planet, you see, because there are many who are cloaked in light. So basically a lot of this discussion is about those beings who are cloaked in light and how to identify them so that we can move on past these different layers into truth. And I think as a collective we're all ready to move past these hurts, because it's a cut, it's a bleeding wound. And in ancient times it was known if there was a perpetrator, the entire clan, the entire village, the entire nation would know. And it was almost like a process of humiliation, but that was for that being to learn that, you see. So you don't get to eat at the table when you're trying to steal and hoard all the food, you know. You don't get to go on a shopping spree because you're using all of your lunch money on drugs or whatever. And if you have a child who is stealing from you and acting out of control, even Abraham has said you will hold space for them and see them as a perfect creator that they are, but you do not have to accept that behavior in your house if it's your house. So that's your boundary, is your home, or your boundary is your group of friends or whatever, or your personal sanity. And we all have our own boundaries, so it's uncomfortable for those empaths who have been stepped all over to finally assert those boundaries. That's what these perpetrators are basically here for. And we dislike the process very much, but it's all for learning. So it's all for a reason, and that's really something we're coming to terms with. It's not easy, but I think we're doing a great job.
Yeah, and to end this, I can always say, like, with the creative kids, and not everybody. I'm saying everybody's creative, you know. Even if somebody is stealing, that's being creative. It's just being lazy. And I always say, you know, if we build, like I said, what the plan is, cities of light, then I need a roofer. I need a guy who knows how to build bubble domes. My expertise is photonic sand and light emissions and infotonic substances, which I'm licensed to do, and it's copywritten and trademarked, so that's all protected. Nobody can really touch that. And it's even sad that I have to say that, or that it has to be done. It's about originality and originating things and bringing things forth. And it's like simple. I can sit people down on the table and say, "What have you created?" You know. And if I'm an artist, you know, some painting looks like Van Gogh, I'll be like, yeah, well, you're inspired by Van Gogh, but you didn't have to take exactly the same image. It's evident when you take stuff that's not yours and you mix it, and that's called plagiarism, you know. And be original, because, and that's YouTube is showing us that when we take songs that are not our copyright, you know, they will match the party that belongs to, so they rightfully get their money. So that, what is that teaching us? That's teaching us, produce your own content, originate from your own source, and rightfully earn energy in whatever way that takes place, so the world knows this is you and you made this. You know what? Then it's okay to tell the world, you know. No more taking it from minorities and running with it and claiming it's yours, because we're done with that paradigm. We no longer propagate that paradigm. And if we catch somebody, we will be like the emotional technology police, sorry to say, because this cannot be in the future. I don't see that in the future, and I refuse to believe but that this will take place in the future. What I believe is, when somebody respectfully asks for an idea, he can be initiated like in ancient times, and they can say, this is what you can do with this, you have my permission, and you can prosper. And when this is okay, everybody's okay. Everybody gets along, and it's fair trade, and not imaginary headspace fair, meaning really everybody is happy. Because if one side is not happy, then you have to think about what happened here, you know, what really went down, and really sit down and reflect, why did I attract that in my life? Why did that happen to me? There's always a reason. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. And after this, there's nothing but peace, and we all move on, and we grow from this, you know. And some hard heads want to go the same direction and think that they are truthfully ones. Well, you'll be left in the cold. You'll be alone. The party's on the flip side, not on the other side. And the BS you can't bring across, that will be checked. So we make sure, with awareness, that we see who's around us, what's surrounding us, what do we bring in our field, and what is acceptable and what is not acceptable at all. And if people learn to respect each other, you have a better mind state. And I'm saying, people say, oh, protection and psychic attacks. Your best shield is the Christic awareness. Meaning, crystalline clarity, seeing what is around you and who you are, where you are, when you are.